The release of the Epstein files, it's just unleashed this absolute torrent of information. It's shaken institutions from Westminster all the way to Wall Street. So today, we're going to break down the anatomy of this global scandal slide by slide to really get to the bottom of what these files reveal.
So here's how we're going to trace the fallout. We'll start with the just mind-boggling scale of the data itself. Then we'll shift our focus to the victim's powerful testimony, the political crisis this thing ignited in the UK, the elite network it exposed, and finally, the ongoing, and let's be honest, frustrating search for real justice. All right, first up, let's try to wrap our heads around the almost unbelievable scale of this file release. We're not talking about a few documents here. This was a digital avalanche. Let's start with the scale. Over 3 million pages of documents were released. Think about that. This isn't just a leak, it's a data tsunami. It's an almost insurmountable amount of information for journalists and investigators to even begin to process. And it wasn't just text, not by a long shot. The files also contained 180,000 images and 2,000 videos. This adds this really visceral visual dimension to the evidence and just makes the whole investigation that much more complex. But, behind these staggering numbers are human stories. At the absolute heart of these millions of files are these survivors. And their voices, well, they're the most critical part of this entire scandal. Survivors like Marina Lasra really reveal the profound personal trauma this data dump has caused. She met Epstein when she was just 14. And now, decades later, she's forced to learn new, horrifying details about her own abuse from these publicly released files. Her words just capture that raw pain of being re-traumatized. So for so many survivors, this release triggered this incredibly complex and conflicting storm of emotions. On one hand, there's some satisfaction that the truth is finally coming out, but that's mixed with this absolute fury over being accidentally identified and this deep fear of what other awful details might still be buried in there, forcing them to relive their trauma all over again. And this error by the Department of Justice, accidentally releasing survivor identities, it caused what lawyers call irreparable harm. And that's a really crucial legal concept. It means the damage is so severe, it just can't be fixed. You can't compensate for it with money. It's a devastating mistake with lifelong consequences for the people affected. So the shockwaves from these files, they didn't stay put. They traveled right across the Atlantic, triggering what's been called a political earthquake in the UK and creating a full-blown crisis in Westminster. The stakes became incredibly high. This didn't just cause some embarrassment, it sparked a crisis that reports were claiming could potentially bring down a prime minister. It was threatening the very stability of the UK government. This timeline really shows how these decades-old allegations against a key political figure, Lord Peter Mandelson, have just suddenly erupted. So back in 2008, as UK business secretary, he allegedly passed sensitive financial material to Epstein. Now that connection has resurfaced, leading to him being sacked as a US ambassador and kicking off a full-blown police investigation. So this term, market sensitive, is key to understanding what he's accused of. Think of it like this. It's confidential information that could totally affect the financial markets. The allegation is that Lord Mandelson leaked this kind of info, which could have been used for massive financial gain, just minutes after sensitive government meetings. And the fallout from this created a direct crisis for the current political leadership. The Labour leader, Keir Starmer, faced just immense pressure over his judgment in appointing Mandelson in the first place. The situation got so volatile that Parliament actually voted to force the publication of all the internal communications about the appointment, which just opens the door for even more damaging stuff to come out. But it wasn't just politicians, was it? The files also cast a harsh new light on Epstein's connections to the highest levels of royalty and global business, revealing this vast, tangled web of power and influence. For the royal family, what a devastating week. A new, unsettling photo of Prince Andrew came out. Emails from Ghislaine Maxwell seemed to confirm that infamous photo with Virginia Giuffre was real. And then, on top of all that, emails from his ex-wife, Sarah Ferguson, revealed her disturbingly close friendship with Epstein, calling him the brother she always wished for. Just wow. The files revealed what's been described as a formidable roll call of the richest and most powerful people in the world. And that's no exaggeration. It's a staggering network of global elites all connected to Epstein. The sheer breadth of this network is just mind-blowing. It goes from tech titans like Bill Gates and Elon Musk to finance leaders like Jeff Staley and political figures like Larry Summers. Now, it's absolutely crucial to say this. Just appearing in these files does not imply wrongdoing. But what it undeniably shows is the immense scale of Epstein's influence. His tentacles reached everywhere. And this network, which was once the source of power and advantage, has had what you'd call a deeply corrosive effect. It's like acid, gradually destroying the careers and reputations of so many people associated with Epstein. It turned what they thought was an asset into this toxic liability, and it's just eroded public trust in the institutions they lead. So, all of this, the data, the political scandals, the exposed networks, it all leads to one final crucial question. Where is the justice? For survivors like Ashley Rubright, just releasing the documents was never the end goal. As she says so powerfully, this wasn't a fight they chose. They are screaming in public now because, really, they feel like they have no other choice in their pursuit of justice. For the survivors, the key demand is one simple word: accountability. This isn't just about releasing files. It's about action. They are demanding investigations, arrests, and jail time for Epstein's co-conspirators. They want people to be held responsible, not just for us to see revelations. And this starkly illustrates the huge gap between transparency and actual justice. On one side, we have millions of pages of information and a long list of names out in the open. But on the other side, what survivors are demanding, investigations, arrests, and real consequences, that remains largely undelivered. So we end with this central, unresolved question that just lingers long after the headlines fade. With millions of pages of evidence now revealed to the entire world, why does true accountability for everyone involved in this horrific network remain so elusive?
喜欢这种学习方式，欢迎订阅我的频道，让我们一起用下一个10分钟，把商业英文变简单。